How you doing? It's Cascalon Gaming. We are playing Valheim. Uh, Valheim. Modded with Balrond's amazing nature. Excuse me. If you've been watching the series, I did a huge rant about carrot soup being missing. So, I did some investigating. I've been off for a little bit. I had, birthday and all that stuff was going on. Um, Hey, case, got some cliff notes here, so you gotta bear with me, okay? But the whole thing was, I pretty much got everything from the Black Forest, everything from the meadow, and I could not make carrot soup. I could make the deer stew and the mincemeat sauce because I have a cauldron, okay? But couldn't make the carrot soup, and I was puzzled because, I mean, what would the logic be in taking out carrot soup? Well, okay, the recipe was changed. It wasn't taken out. But, okay, Balrond made the mistake the original developers made with the cultivator. What's wrong with the cultivator? Well, the cultivator has two things that you don't have. And you really have no way of knowing that, okay? You don't really know that you need core-wood and you need bronze to make the cultivator. You have seeds from the Black Forest and you say, well, what do I do with these seeds? I plant them. I've seen people sell them on the ground, try to get it with the hoe, all kinds of different things. I've seen some crazy stuff with the seeds, but yeah. I mean, once you know you need core wood and bronze for the cultivator, then okay. But you kind of have to have played the game once to know that. Well, we're going to go through what the deal is with the carrot soup and Balrond's amazing nature here in a minute. Okay, so that's the point I was at. I got no carrot soup and I'm wondering why. So I had mentioned in one of the streams that I had a dream, because I'm playing role-playing with Iver, that on another world there was carrot soup. And so what I was implying was I'm going to go get some damn carrot soup from another world, because I can't make it. And so I realized before I did that I had a problem. I could not take Iver to one of the other playthroughs that I have going because they have different mods. And you will mess your character up if you do that. You won't destroy them. Okay, but for example, I was saying that I saw a pretty girl in my dream. She had some carrot soup because I'm playing a very basic playthrough on that world. Okay, I've got that jolt pad thing, and I'm not even sure what other mods I have, but it's just nothing really game changing. It's all vanilla. Okay, the jolt pad's just a little notepad thing. You can hit F4 and you bring up the thing. I can make notes. Should be in every game. That's my opinion. Okay, so I have it in there so that I can keep track. I have it in all my playthroughs, so that I can keep track of things. I can write a note to myself, and I don't have to dig through the million papers on my desk. You know, that's just a nice little quality of life thing that should be in every game. You should have a little place to make notes. I don't need any special, it's going to keep all my recipes for me and tell me that, no, I'll just make a note. It's fine. Okay. Alright, so I can't take Iver there. And I can't take her to Iver's world because it'll really mess her up. With the Balrond's nature and everything. So I decided I'd make a new character, which I did. Mr. Disposable. Okay. So I took Mr. Disposable. I said to myself, right after I created Mr. Disposable, and I was on the next screen, I said, you know what? I don't want to go to that world and nerf her because she's playing a vanilla, and I don't want to nerf her. by taking her carrot soup. Okay. So what I did was I went to Red's World, the Red Warrior, another playthrough I'm doing right now. So I put on the mods for that and went to Red World and took carrot soup from him because he's rich. He's rich because it's hardcore mode. Hardcore mode is you lose all your skills, all of them. Lose and everything you were carrying. Everything you were carrying. Okay. So it's pretty much like, what do they call it? I don't know. Some people like delete the whole world or something like that. So it seems a bit extreme. You're never going to get through the game that way. But in any case, Red has to build up his skills again, or he ain't going back to where he was, where he died. Actually, Red died at home, but he died in bed at home, though. He died on the wall at home. Excuse me. My throat's all, I don't know, been sick a little bit. Fucking spraying shit in our atmosphere. Dropping bombs on people. The whole world's crazy. So that's what I did. I went and got the carrot soup. Then I put the mods on for Frostbeard's world, because if you start another world with different mods on, you're going to mess up the world too. Especially something like Balrond's Amazing Nature, which adds like 400 things to the game, right? So all that stuff would be gone if I didn't put the mods on for Amazing Nature, and I went in there. So you have to do that. So I go into there, and I went into the kitchen, and I got a damn recipe for bouillon. I'm like, how did I get a recipe for bouillon? This guy was brand new. I'm like, how did I get a recipe for bouillon? Okay, I picked up carrots. Okay. But I didn't pick up anything else. Okay, you see he has armor on now, but that's because I was investigating things. He was my investigator. So how do I have this bouillon now? Or wait, he had the carrot soup recipe, and it said bouillon. That's what it was. I didn't have the bouillon recipe. I had the carrot soup recipe that said it was carrots and bouillon. Okay? Instead of carrots and mushrooms, which I'm pretty sure is what the original carrot soup recipe is in the vanilla game. So I'm like, what's this bouillon? I couldn't find a bouillon anywhere. Okay, I said this wrong. I didn't look at my notes. I made notes on this. And here I am not looking at my notes. Let me go get the notes. Alright. Frostbeard never had the carrot soup recipe. Despite me thinking I had all the triggers, which is deer meat, cooked deer meat, boar meat, neck meat, mushrooms, carrots, all that stuff. Having all that stuff that he had, Frostbeard had, I had no carrot soup recipe. It didn't make no sense to me. Okay. You should be able to make deer stew, mincemeat sauce, and carrot soup with all that stuff. So I sent Mr. Disposable to Red World, and I made 10 stacks of carrot soup, 100 carrot soups. It's carrots and mushrooms. I logged off, quit the game, restarted with Amazing Nature mods. Logged Mr. Disposable into Frostbeard's world, delivered the 100 soups, and got I can make carrot soup message. And I said, what the hell? Okay, well, I could just make carrot soup in the other world. Okay. So I'm really confused because, I was like, what the hell? Well, since I learned it on Red World, I logged off and got on Frostbeard. Wait, who had the, maybe Frostbeard had the can make the carrot soup with the bouillon thing. Now that I had the carrot soup, I don't know. It was weird. I said it at the time. This is fucking weird. Okay. I checked the cauldron. Carrot soup was listed, but there was no bouillon recipe anywhere that I could find. I checked the mead thing, the mead kettle, and I guess that's all I have the what do you call it? Preparation table, and there was no bouillon recipe, even though the carrot soup listed it as something you needed to use. And bouillon is pretty much a recipe I cook at home, okay, in real life. So I'm like, okay, well, that's That would be something you make. Bouillon. It's spelled wrong, by the way. Balrond. It's spelled wrong. Bouillon. There's two L's in it. Or maybe it's a different spelling in a different country. I don't know. Okay. I logged back to Frostbeard. Okay. And then I got a case of the ass. I logged back onto Frostbeard. And I made everything at all workbenches. Everything I could possibly make. I put down the shipyard. I put down the compost pile. Even things that I didn't think had nothing to do with no carrot soup. I was making it. I had the well down, but I'd only really made a water bucket. There are a couple things in there from the well that I didn't make, which was after you do the water buckets, you can make a jug. And I think at the time when I saw it, I was like, well, I don't have a leather for that right now or something. Okay. So you make the jugs. I guess we can log into Frostbeard and I can show you this. I have the rates turned off right now. I'll just leave it that way because I'm not playing them. I'm trying to explain how I finally figured out how to make carrot soup. So as I said, I made sure that I had everything that I could make. I made the well, like I said, I had made the well, and I made the, whoa, it's raining, baby. Look out, just slip sliding away. So I made the little shipyard thing, and I made the compost thing, and then I said, well, I'm just gonna make everything that I possibly could make. One of everything. Gotta sit down and get a rested bonus. Come on. I'm rested, man. I'm chill. Don't piss me off. Okay, I guess I feel rested now. A little sleepy. Got gas. A little gassy. So, what? Oh, now I got new stuff. I got a new thing. Using hard antler and flint, this wood piece is precisely cut. It doesn't say hard antler there, it says wooden flint. Okay. So here's the wooden buckets. So I made some of these and I went out to the well and I filled them up. Okay, and I guess I missed the message because now, where I saw it, it said, well, okay, nope, you can make these. Empty water jugs. I was missing something, so I said, well, I'll do that later. And then you can make water jugs. You need empty water jugs first before that recipe appears, and you can make the water jugs. So, like I said, I was making everything, and I did that. And then I made this, and I don't know, was I able to do it? When did I get the carrot soup recipe? I gotta look at my notes. Let's see what the carrot soup recipe says. No, the bouillon recipe. Ah! Okay. So, no mushrooms in the carrot soup. I don't know, I guess maybe Balrond don't like mushrooms, huh? Threw in dandelions again. Maybe just to use up dandelions, because you do, well, because you kill so many Grey Dwarf brutes, you do end up getting more dandelions than you want in the end. They're not really used for anything. I wish I'd have just made dandelion wine, but or something, that could do something. Maybe make you run through the fields faster. Drink your dandelion wine, you run through the meadows faster. Sounds good to me. So no, I made the water jug. I did not have it. I came here. No. You have to make these meat scraps here, which really made no sense to me. But I had made some, and this is why. Okay, I had made some. Huh. Could have sworn they were here. Maybe they're not here. Let's get some meat. I'm pretty sure I made it before I had the cauldron. There's the meat scraps. They were in this barrel. Well, there's more now, but I don't know how many I need. Give me that. It's not here. What else is there? Oh yeah, this thing. I think it is the workbench. It's not intuitive. It's non-intuitive. It shouldn't be at the workbench. If it's at the workbench, then I'll be like, that's non-intuitive. But I suppose, there it is right there. I suppose it's in here because, well, I don't know why. Can you use bouillon for something before the carrot soup? I mean, that would make sense if that was the case. That you could make the bouillon before the carrot soup. You need the cauldron to make the carrot soup, so why it's not, this is not in the cauldron, I don't know. Maybe it's not in the prep table because what does the prep table take to be built? I don't know. Let's find out. Preparation table, where are you? Right there. Oh, that requires serving trays. There's a recipe for that now. You need to have nickel and serving tray to make that. I don't know where I made the serving trays. Pretty sure I made some. If it's made with metal, it might be here. There you go. Okay, and you needed the carved wood, which doesn't use the antlers for whatever reason. You need a water jug and a clay pot to make the serving tray. Okay, so all that just to get some carrot soup, because you need the raw meat. And then you gotta make the bouillon. So you gotta take your water jugs, the raw meat scraps, the carrots, and the dandelions. And then you got some bouillon. And then you take carrots and bouillon to make 2 carrot soup. At least kind of tried to make it less expensive by giving you 2 soups and using 4 instead of 6, because regular carrot soup takes 3 carrots. Okay, so you're using more carrots here, and you're using carrots in the bouillon, 2 carrots in the bouillon, but it's giving you 4. You know, I ain't even gonna screw around with the math on that. Okay, I don't care. That's how you make it. Okay, so the 2 things you had to make, well, it's more than 2 things. You have to make the bucket to make the water jug. You had to make the water jug to get the water in the water jug. Oh, empty jug. So use the bucket to make the empty jug. No, the recipe's not there until you make the bucket. Pretty sure. Maybe it was there. I didn't see it. Okay, it's kind of late for me to go back now. Okay. In any case, you gotta make the water jug. The water jug is making an empty bucket and having a bucket of water, or you can just fill the empty bucket at the well. Okay? So there's 2 ways to actually make the water jug. If you take an empty bucket over to the well, empty jug over to the well, you can, a bucket too. If you take an empty bucket or an empty jug to the well, you can make a water jug and a water bucket. Okay. So then you needed to have made the raw meat scraps, and I had made it, but there was nothing I could do with it. So couldn't cook it on the, I don't think so. Oh wait, I do have some cooked though. Wait a minute. It's not cooked in here though. Oh, you go back in there. No, can't cook it there. I was pretty sure I made some. There it is. Ah, you need bones and a water mug to make cooked meat scraps. And they give you... Oh, I thought I made some and threw it in my bag, but I have it somewhere. I did make some, and I don't remember what the stats on it though, but they're right here. 12 and 12. So, I don't know that that's better than anything. I don't have any cooked neck. No way to look at the stats unless I cook some neck. The neck are, equal. Is that better? Is the cooked meat scraps better than neck? I don't know. Cooked neck. Oh. I don't know. I'm kind of off my little list here. We're gonna get back to it in a second. I'm just curious about this. What good would it be to make that? Well, you have to have a cauldron to make it anyway. So at that point, you should be making meals. If you ain't making meals, you're breaking my rule number 1, which is use the best food. Use food all the time. It's not about buffing yourself. It's about eating to live, just like in real life. That's my opinion. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop saying my opinion. Oh, well, that's not even. Okay, 25 health and 8. The hell is cooked boar? Oh, got none because I used it. Oh, I put it in a table. I used all the cooked deer too. Oh well, in any case, yeah. It's 12 and 12, kind of like an evenly, what do I call it? I don't know what they're calling it in the game, but something that's evenly, like a mushroom. Mushroom got even health and stamina. Okay. So then, yeah, I can make the carrot soup. That's about that. There, it's over. You can go home now. No, I'm not done with my list though, because I was only halfway through my list. Okay, unlocked bullion crafted jugs. No, see, that's not right. Log back into Frostbeard, made everything. Workbenches, cooking stations, prep table, and every single thing that I can make at any of the crafting benches, of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I count the prep table? There's 7 or 8 different workbenches at this point in the game. Not very happy about that. There's a lot of stuff to make for a new base. Okay. Right. I unlocked the empty crafted jugs. I crafted the empty jugs filled with water from the well, which is Balrond Amazing Nature, not the base game. Good news, Frostbeard now has 100 carrot soups. Well, because dude brought them over already. I didn't have to make any. Well, I have made some sets, but there have been multiple Balrond updates to Amazing Nature since Frostbeard World started. Okay. So, I don't know what's going on now. I mean, this world's already running, unless it gets screwed up by Um, uh, unless it gets screwed up by the Deep North thing coming out. I hope I don't have to restart this world. But I wanted to see about, what did I miss? Okay, how come it was so difficult for me to figure this out? Okay, so I made a whole new amazing nature world and an amazing guy to go with it. So I named him Amazing Guy for the Balrond's Amazing Nature World. Okay, which is essentially the same mods as because I was thinking maybe there was a mod conflict. Well, this guy's going along. He is, I don't know where he is actually. We can find out. I didn't make another mod for this. Oh, actually I did, because I took off mods because I said this could possibly, So I can't do this right now. Well, I'm not going to. Anyway, he ain't got carrot soup yet either. Okay. He did use the bone bow. And made the troll hide armor, which there's a heavy troll armor now. It's made in the, what is it called? It's not crafting bench, the workbench. The construction workbench and the construction workbench. Okay, but he is in the Black Forest. He has gone into delves and got certain courses making bronze, and I didn't have the recipe for him there yet either, but I'll have to go back and revisit that since I figured it out. Right, because Balrond has updated Amazing Nature. That's why I wanted to talk about this guy. So what is different on his world is there's no more of the gray mushrooms. Well, I haven't found any. No gray mushrooms, no blackberries, and no of those ancient root things in the Black Forest. There's none of those. I haven't seen any of those in the Black Forest. Stuff's gone from that one, and I made that after Balrond had updated Balrond's Amazing Nature. So maybe he took them out. How's that going to affect my playthrough? I don't know. Right. Okay, well, Nier is in the Black Forest. Right. Red is in the plains. Frostbeard's in the Black Forest looking for the swamp. I have crypt keys. I did accidentally killed the Elder. It's true. It was an accident, I swear. It was a day and a half battle, I'm telling you. Poor people saw that battle. It summoned, so what happened was, I was like, well, I found the Elder, and I had some ancient seeds on me, because I kind of had to fight all the way over there. Because there seems to be a lot more mobs in the Amazing Nature thing. So Frostbeard's like, hey, maybe the ancient seeds will work. I didn't expect them to work because we had to do craft a carved deer skull, 3 of them, to call it Eichir, right? So why would it not be something like that for the Elder? Well, it wasn't. It was the ancient seeds, and then the Elder came in, and I'm fighting. Damn near ran out of arrows. Troll came and got involved. Bunch of gray dwarves, some skells. It was a long battle. And something's different. I never remember the. Okay, so the Elder's one of his attacks is to bring roots up out of the ground that will smack you in the head. Some of those are still over there. I don't know why, but they usually go away when the Elder dies. They're still there. Okay. So let's see, playlist mess. Oh, I've got to fix the playlists. And start, you know, changing the descriptions of all that. I've been lazy about it. I gotta make playlists for all the playthroughs. Like the building of bridges. There are no bridges. There's an episode called Building Bridges. There are no bridges in Frostbeard's world. Because I went looking for the Elder, and I fought the Elder and all that. So that's actually, I think, the episode that I did that in. Never did get to the bridge. But I did check out the little rope bridge that Balrond's Amazing Nature gives you. It seems not to go very far before you need to support it, so it's going to be an undertaking to get a bridge over there. Well, I'm building a dock in a weird place. I want to be able to take a long ship in and out both ends of that river. Although I could always move where I'm going to do it, but I got the river right there by my base, so what else? Oh, the base expansion pretty much done, except now I got a shipyard that's going to go down by the boathouse, so I have to build a boathouse down there. And yeah, okay, so we're going to look at that in this special report, because they use a crafting mod that isn't from the Balrond's Amazing Nature thing, just so everybody's aware while I'm doing this. Because you may have seen it. It is not part of Balrond's. It's called Odin's Architect. No. Odin's Castle. No. By the way, there used to be an Odin's Architect build. I don't know whatever happened to that. Well, I'm not using it. I'm using Odin's Kingdom. So what I was going to do is build longhouses. These are my longhouse. I was going to build a big longhouse that goes between this building, that's the kitchen, and the crafting building, which is over here. There was going to be a longhouse here, but when I was connecting them, and I wanted it to be a little higher so that I could build some kind of thing to look over the wall. And I couldn't get the buildings to connect, so I just said, screw it, I'm going to build a keep. And I used the Odin's Kingdom thing to use these walls and all them pieces to build this keep. There's a lot of work to do here still, but I got most of it done. Like, I was working on a spiral staircase to get to the roof because I didn't really want to have to use this. But I got, those are the chimneys for the kitchen. No, those are not for the kitchen. Those are for the smelters and all that. The kitchen is not that way. The kitchen is over there. So yeah, it's still work in progress, but it has nothing to do with Balrond's Amazing Nature, except that, that happens to be the primary mod of this playthrough. It's just that I want to screw with what I was screwing with, which was, like I said, connecting the longhouses at two different levels. It just wasn't working out. Okay, if I wanted to take the land down to the level of the other longhouses, then it would have worked, but because I've done it before. And then I had room to, okay, just pretend this is the longhouse, and I get, I can if I go down to the next floor, I guess. Except for the whole center section being up here. Yeah, that's not working out either, but I needed these pillars for structural integrity. But if they were all at the same level here, then what I've done before is then extended longhouses out this way, because it turns out I'm going to need more land again. I got to expand this base again. I have been everywhere. No, I haven't. I have been a lot of places. And I have not found a place that I want to build a base at. So I'm just going to keep this as my main base. And actually it seems pretty good. Looks like I'm going to be able to get out the ocean here. And as I said, I can go out this way to get to the ocean there. and also up through here to get to the ocean up here. So I don't see any reason to move this base, so I'm going to expand it for future stuff. We already at 7 or 8 workbenches. I don't know what else is coming, but something else might come. Balrond Amazing Nature wise. But yeah, we do have another workbench coming when I get to the mountains, but I've got to find swamp, and I have to go to the merchant. I processed a bunch of metal while I was building this keep, so I don't really need to be mining right now, but I think I did put on the mine from the top, or at least I put it on the other Balrond Amazing Nature place where I got going. We did have some mountains here. Well, I don't remember if we ran into a swamp. Oh, you know what I noticed? There is swamp stuff, because we had that Draugr. Didn't we have a Draugr thing? And I let a bunch of guys into it? Yeah, wait. There it is, Draugr Tower. Okay. It's not much of a tower, but there are these Draugr things in the Black Forest now. I guess kind of to get the ambience of like the Draugr villages that are in the meadows, or used to be. I don't know. I haven't found one of them yet in this place with Amazing Nature on. Okay, so he changed that. I've never seen these anywhere except for the Amazing Nature thing, this little Draugr Tower. I don't think we cleared it all the way out, but I got to get some entrails. I can't make the sausages though because I need turnips, right? What do I need? What are sausages? There's thistle, boar meat, and entrails. So why can't I make sausages? Oh, now we got new mushroom soup, which uses the bouillon also. This oil base, I can't do this because it's level 2 cauldron. I can't have a level 2 cauldron until I have turnips, or unless that's changed. But it's not in my build hammer because I looked. Okay, and then we got this oil base that takes fish and bags of seeds. Okay, so another use for all them seeds that we're getting. I don't really need them for feathers, because they have a bird house that you could put the seeds in and get feathers, but I'm okay at killing the birds. We got this dye kit. Also level 2 cauldron. So, fruit punch. Put it in a press. So there's another crafting station. Do I have a press yet? No. And the cauldron level 2. So, I do not have a press in the hammer yet. I pretty much went through this when I was doing this. Made the shipyard. Oh yeah, I made, what? What? I did not make this. Okay. This is a construction bench extension that's in the crafting building. I did get one of these going. Did I get any meats? Oh yeah, look, I got a bunch of meats. No idea where I put them because I do not see the thing I normally put up, the visual meads rack. Oh, you know, I think I put it in the other area. Except some of the things don't show up in that visual mead rack. I don't remember what, but something doesn't show up. These are all showing up. Huh. Okay, we got an enchanted jar for the shaman's extension. That's over here. I haven't upgraded this yet. Talisman for the shaman table. What's in there? The root armor. Okay. I was like, oh, okay. Cool, except, I don't have enough ancient bark. I actually have enough to make a set of root armor. I just don't have the ancient bark. And until I find the swamp, I'm not liable to. Well, actually, it's not true, because it's coming out of the roots that are in the Black Forest, and they still exist on this world, even though the mod's changed. Okay, I imagine that all happens because oh, okay. Did I make this? Oh, where's the construction bench in here? Okay, yeah, I have this. Right, that's the Fletcher stable. Fletcher stable, compost pile. I don't have enough damn chain to make the bellows. I have some chain. I killed a wraith over by that Draugr tower. Oh, so yeah, so there was another swamp thing there. It was, well, the wraith normally spawn in like the little cabins that you find on stilts in the swamp. I'm pretty sure. Well, I found one of those in the Black Forest over by the Draugr tower thing. Alright, so I still have some stuff to build, and then I'm gonna, well, a lot of the stuff I can't actually make, but I can do the upgrades to that shaman thing. Maybe? I didn't actually look if I could build it. What was it missing? Hard antler. I got a ton of that. Brass. I can make the brass. Brass is nickel, I think. And copper. I don't know. Not exactly sure. Clay pots. Okay, so I use for the clay since the build pieces don't work with fire hazard. Clay pieces shouldn't burn. I mean, anything will burn if you get it hot enough. Hence the sun. But the clay pieces that come with this mod that I thought, oh yeah, okay, well I won't put my clay thing on because I can't put my clay thing on now because the world's already been generated. Okay, but I didn't put my clay build pieces on because they said there was clay build pieces. Unfortunately, with fire hazard on, they start on fire. So they're useless to me, because that's what I use the clay build pieces for. I said, that's what people did. They would line some wood with clay, and then the wood wouldn't burn. They could build lots of things. Fire up the clay. Well, heat it up. So that it's no longer malleable. Alright, so all that has to be done. Let me look at the list again. Elder Battle Recap. Yeah, Ancient Seeds. Fought for a day and a half. It did. It said no arrows, but I didn't completely run out. There was tons of arrows on the ground. Hard plus mode, no map, no portals, hard raids, fire hazards, couldn't run. Oh yeah, that's why I didn't just break off from the Elder, because he would have probably followed me all the way back to the base. He wasn't that far away from my base. Yeah, so I just, wrote my excuse in here why I fought him. I didn't want to fight him yet. Okay. Playlist mess. Titles. Okay, yeah, I gotta fix that. Base expansion. Scrap the Longhouse idea. Right. Built the keep with Odin's Architect. It's not Odin's Architect, it's Odin's Kingdom. Okay. Right, I got room for an armory, some crafting expansions. I got all the forge and smelter and kiln in there under a roof with chimneys. Space crunch, out of room. Oh yeah, I've got to expand the base out because I got to build pig pens with roofs sooner rather than later, because I don't know what might be coming sooner rather than later, like maybe a race raid or something, which would be the end of all my piggies. I still gotta catch a ranked up pig. I might move the crops inside the walls, so when I do the next expansion, it might be big, but it should be fairly easy because it's all pretty much, we're at the level of that metals for a long ways out there. Overestimate the space. Yeah, I'm going to overestimate the space for Balrond's additions. I don't know where I'm going to put that compost bit. Probably put it between, well, gotta have a wolf pen too, you know, I can't just have a pig pen. I really only need one pig pen. Okay, I gotta plan the boathouse. Kind of want to build a bridge over the boathouse and have the boathouse lower to the water. Well, it's gotta be lower to the water because, okay, whatever. I'll figure it out. Right. And I decided to test the update. To Valronds, but yeah, I've already found out that they're different. That doesn't have that stuff in the Black Forest, so maybe took it out. I don't know. Thanks to my 21 subscribers, broke that big 20. Right. Next stream, we're going to see the merchant. Set record away and save it and text it. Oh. Okay. I was using Grok to make this. Grok can get a little crazy sometimes. Alright, so that's it. That's the whole special report. We know how to make the carrot soup, and it is at this level without an upgraded cauldron. We have other stuff now that we can make since I've got the water jugs and the meat, and I even cooked some meat, but I don't know what the hell I did with it. Some of that meat scraps. It's just a really odd place to put them meat scraps. Now I'm pretty sure I saw it and made some, but I don't know. Yeah, and I need room for these, although they go to 20 now, so I don't need that many more. The 6 times 20 is it's a big number, 120. Right, so yeah, I mean, one harvest is 120 honey. I'm gonna be okay, although it's not like it does 20 of the honey in, you know, the same amount of time that it used to do 4. No, it's longer. It takes a lot longer. It just stores up to 20. I think it actually takes the same amount of time. I've got this to finish up here. And the reason I want a building here is I'm going to put a fire from Build It mod in there. Hey, that's the one. Okay. It's a cheat, but I'm going to use it up here. Put a place to eat some extra food up here because I know I'll miss roof fighting in the future. Okay. All right. What else? That's about it. Although I may change the roofs over there to the Odin Kingdom roof, which I kind of like the look of. It's 6 of one, half dozen the other. Actually, it's more expensive for me because these use fine wood. But I kind of like the look of these. And they got this nice little thing. Which one did I put on there? 26 is fine, yeah. So you can put these here. And you can walk out your door and not get wet. Yeah, I like them. They don't go down too far. They only go down half the distance of, a normal thing. That's a nice little. I wish everybody was doing that. Except there's no little corner thing there, but I can deal with that. Alright, what else? That's about it. So the next time I'm playing, we will be doing all that stuff that I just listed and probably replacing those roofs with the Build It mod because it's going to look better here. And I was thinking about replacing these roofs too. I don't know. Just so I got, at least there's symmetry, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I put a balcony here too. Not quite done. Not sure what I was going to do. I was thinking about extending this part out over the wall. I've had a recent experience where Fulling Horde guys knocked me off the wall. I was standing on a wall. The wall was the same size as that wall. Okay, same height. And he didn't hit me. Okay, he hit some below me, but I got area effect. They knocked me off the wall, and then I'm down there fighting, and then Red died. That's what happened. Red died. I'm still pissed about it. Okay, but it's my fault because I'm like, well, I can take these guys. So I made a stupid decision. I tried to kill them, and they killed me. I think I must have got hit by the shaman that was there too, and I was taking some kind of, I don't know, time to damage, poison damage, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I died because I killed the two big guys pretty easily, and I was about to head back into the base when I died. All right. So in conclusion, the carrot soup is possible. You need to make two things that you don't have. Okay. That you don't know that you need to make the bouillon. And you need the bouillon to make the carrot soup. Just getting the thing did not give me the bouillon, though, recipe, so it's just like everything else. You gotta make the things first. So I guess my only suggestion is, make everything, cut down everything, pick everything. Okay, the problem with the cultivator is, okay, you know that some wood is too hard for you to cut down, right? And that would be the birch in the meadows and the oak in the meadows. Okay, so in that case that you need to get a better axe to cut down those trees, but you don't know it's a different wood until you cut them down, unless you got some pine wood from somewhere. Now, yes, you can get the pine wood from some places. You can even get the core wood from some places from my little campsite things. Okay, but who thinks of that? It's like, I'm going to put up a workbench and take this campsite apart because it's got these round looking wood there. You don't really know that they're different wood. Okay, until you have core wood that you're like, it's core wood, right? So you don't need a better axe to cut down the core wood, except you need to cut down pine trees to get a core wood. And if you just cut down a fir, and you're like, it's the same wood, it's all the same wood. You probably think, like I did when I started the game, I'm like, we got one kind of wood. Okay. But I was thinking, well, maybe the birch trees will give me birch bark. And so I did make an axe and I cut down a birch tree and didn't get birch bark. So I wasn't getting no canoe. I was upset. But I got fine wood, which opened a lot of things. And I said, well, okay, there's more than one type of wood. Okay. So then, even though I hadn't run into any pine yet, I'm talking about my first game. Okay. When I did see the pine, I said, that's not a fir tree, that's a pine tree. And I cut it down. Okay. But I cut it down with a bronze axe because I didn't see him when I had the flint axe. Okay. I didn't see the pine. You don't need a bronze axe to cut the pine down. You just need a regular flint axe. Well, that's pretty much... No, you get a stone axe. Do you get a stone axe? Yeah, you get a stone axe. I don't know if the stone axe actually works on the pine tree. Probably. Because essentially the pine tree is the same as the beech trees, right? So, there's that. Now you got core wood. Okay, you figured out you needed to cut down a pine tree. You got the core wood. And once you make bronze, then, well, as soon as you get the core wood, because you already got I already got the bronze axe, then you know that you can make the cultivator. Okay, but you don't know that. You don't know there is core wood. So, yeah, yes, I know the game is built like that, but I don't like that, and you can't blame anybody. I've seen people yelling at people like, well, why don't you cut down your pine tree? Spoiling, because they're trying to plant the seeds. Okay, they don't know how to plant the seeds because they ain't got a cultivator. And when you get the cultivator, you right click on it like the hammer, because it's really not that apparent. In fact, most people don't know you can right click with the hoe. They just don't think of it. Okay, but that's the way it is. It's kind of the design of the game. You have to cut everything down. You have to mine everything. You have to try to mine everything. You have to make everything. Okay, and see, that's the problem. I thought I had made everything related to food, and since that was the only thing, the bullion, the only thing I'd seen, because none of the other recipes, the beer stew did not require water. That's some dry ass stew, man. Okay, we had the water, and I knew I had the water, but when I looked at the recipes, I'm like, oh, I'm not using water, alright. So I didn't think water was being used, so I didn't even think about it. After that, I didn't think about it because there was nothing in there that used water. I had the fruit salad, but that didn't use water either. The fruit salad's actually in the preparation table and not in the cauldron. But in any case, so I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know? I need to make some water up for it, because I had buckets of water, Well, the difference between a bucket and a jug, I can't use a bucket of water, right? Why can't I use a bucket of water? Why do we need a jug of water? Because I had the buckets of water. So, you need the buckets of water, you need the bullion. Wasn't there something else we needed? Oh yeah, and the raw meat scraps. Not the cooked meat scraps. So why did it trigger? Why did it trigger? Because I did have the raw meat scraps, baby. Okay, and then they were in the barrel, and dude went by the barrel. Because he did. I did go by the barrel. Okay. And, because sometimes when you go buy things, it gives you the recipe. And that's why I got the carrot soup recipe. And then that's why I was figuring out, okay, why doesn't Frostbeard have it? Because he made the fucking raw meat scraps. No. I don't remember doing anything with the jugs with the Mr. Disposable guy. Why would I? I went to Red's World and I made carrot soup. Somehow I did have the ability to make carrot soup with the Mr. Disposable here. Maybe it's an artifact because he had the carrot soup recipe because he was making it, right? And then when I came on here, I had the carrot soup recipe. Except that it showed different things. I don't know. I just don't understand. But we do know what needs to be done in Balrond from here on out is I have to make everything. So that's what I'm going to do. Make everything. Fill water jugs, whatever comes next. Like the fruit punch. There's going to be a fruit punch. And I'm going to make a fruit punch because it probably uses some recipes. things like I have no reason to use that fruit punch, but I'm gonna make it just because you have to. With the Balrond things, the hope that it unlocks something for me, right? I have to move these pillars because I can't get through here, and that's very annoying to me. Although maybe I'll build tables around it. I don't know. That's it. We're done here. All in all, though, I like the Balrond's mod. I like additional complexity. I just, like I'm saying with the cultivator, I just wish, I know, but with the two things, I'm not the only one that's missed the cultivator thing. It's like, well, how do we plant these carrot seeds, And if you haven't gotten the pine, if you haven't gotten the core wood for the pine, you don't really know. If you haven't got any fine wood yet, you don't really know. You do know one thing, and like I said, that's that you can't cut down some trees. It's too hard. So maybe, 2 and 2 equals 4 in that case. You say, okay, well, I need a better axe, so I cut these down and see what they are. Except they're not core wood. So even if you did that, you don't know. Unless you've seen the pines and you recognize it's a different conifer tree than the fir, then, coniferous tree? I don't know what you call it. Anyway, that is the beef I had with the original vanilla game is, new people are like, how do I plant these seeds, Well, I will be getting back to recording here very soon. Casca out.